We don't fall in love with films because of plots. Not always. We fall in love because of moments. A glance held too long, a hallway drenched in a natural red, a character standing just off center like the frame itself is anxious. And yet, beginners are taught to focus on gear, on rules, and on exposure, as if storytelling is something you could just buy or memorize. But the truth is simpler and harder. Cinematography is not about capturing images, it's about revealing truth. And there are 5 fundamental shots that do this better than any of the others. 5 frames that, when used with intention, can carry more story than a page of dialogue. Let's begin. Shot 1. The wide shot. Space as story. The wide shot is where everything begins. A person, small in a vast landscape, or a house sitting alone on a hill. In Lawrence of Arabia, the desert is the antagonist. Endless, blinding, swallowing everything. David Lean doesn't just frame the sand, he frames the loneliness. We see Lawrence's figure as a speck, dwarfed by the world he's trying to conquer. The scale is both beautiful, but also thematic. A wide shot gives us geography, sure, but when used well, it gives us the psychology. The wide shot asks, where are we? But also, what does this space say about who we are in it? It can make someone look powerful, commanding a room, or powerless, swallowed by it. The trick isn't how much you show, it's what the emptiness there implies. Shot 2. The close-up. The unspoken truth. And then we have the close-up. It's the most human shot. The most dangerous one, too. Because when you move this close, the mask breaks. A twitch, a blink, a tear held back. In Requiem for a Dream, Darren Aronofsky uses extreme close-ups to claustrophobic effect. Not to invite empathy, but to trap us inside addiction. It's intimate, but never safe. In contrast, in the film Portrait of a Lady on Fire, the close-ups are reverent. The camera studies the face like it's trying to memorize it. Not just what it looks like, but what it feels like to be seen. The close-up doesn't say, look at this. It says, feel this. And that's the power of this shot. Use it carelessly and it becomes indulgent. Use it with precision and it becomes a confession. Shot 3. The over-the-shoulder. Between us and them. The over-the-shoulder shot is often treated like coverage. Functional, maybe even forgettable. But when used with intention, it's one of the most emotionally complex frames in cinema. In Silence of the Lambs, when Clarice and Hannibal speak through the glass, the over-the-shoulder shots keep them tethered. But something's off. Hannibal often looks directly at us, while Clarice looks at him. We become the object of his gaze. We become complicit. This shot lives in the tension between the connection and the perspective. It's not just about what a character sees, it's about the fact that we're seeing it with them. There is empathy in that, but there's danger too. Because the over-the-shoulder shot doesn't just show a conversation, it almost signals allegiance. It quietly asks you, whose side are you really on? Shot 4. The tracking shot. Movement as meaning. Movement in film isn't just about going somewhere. It's about what it feels like to move. A good tracking shot isn't just a flex, although oftentimes they are used this way. It's a choice. Think of the film Children of Men. That 7-minute long take in the car is not just impressive, it's immersive. The camera doesn't cut because the characters can't escape. Not from the bullets, and certainly not from their reality. We feel trapped with them. In Goodfellas, Scorsese's famous Copacabana shot follows Henry through back doors, kitchens, stairwells, the camera gliding like his ego. That shot is the seduction. It's the American dream on a Steadicam. A tracking shot, at its best, mirrors the internal arc. It moves not because it can, but because it has to. It's the difference between motion and momentum, and audiences feel that, even if they don't know why. Shot 5. The Dutch angle. When the world tilts. When things go wrong, the frame breaks. The Dutch angle tilts the camera, not for style, but for psychological rupture. Used poorly, it's a gimmick. Used well, and it unsettles. In The Third Man, it tells us something is off long before we know what. In Black Swan, as Nina unravels, the camera tilts incrementally, a visual embodiment of her spiraling grip on reality. Even in Thor, the Dutch angle is used to emphasize otherworldliness or imbalance, a realm literally askew from our own. This shot works because we're trained, unconsciously, to expect balance. When the horizon tilts, we notice. And more importantly, we don't trust it. The Dutch angle is a silent alarm. It tells us this world is no longer safe. So here's the real question. Which of these shots have you felt before? Not just seen, but felt. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like a wide shot? Small, out of place, and exposed? Or stared at someone close enough to memorize the way their lips moved, like a close-up? What moment in your life would you frame, and how? Drop that in the comments. Let's build a frame-by-frame gallery of human experience. Because film isn't separate from life, it's a reflection of it. And maybe learning how to shoot a story starts with learning how to see your own.